Today we're going to talk about allowing ourselves to feel the grief of loss in all areas of our lives as we go through this life. Because as humans, we go through a lot of loss, but sometimes we don't allow ourselves to grieve. We push through mentally, emotionally, spiritually, bypassing the process of being in that grief. Not staying there, but allowing ourselves to feel it, allowing our bodies to go through the emotions, the uncomfortableness, the tightening, the letting go, because it's uncomfortable. And lately, we've been going through a lot of grief. And this is touching on the multiple phases of grief. It could be the grief of losing a loved one, friendships, the grief of losing what we thought we were, we could have been, we should have been, where we think we should have been already in life but are not. The grief of our past beliefs, our past versions. And with grief, there comes an honoring of what was, what we thought. And sometimes, in this modern society, we bypass that ritual of being present, of honoring, of feeling, because it's easier. Grief is not easy. It's easier to shut down our minds, our hearts, and push through. We're okay. It's fine. We're gonna move on with life. But when we do that, we're also lying to ourselves because we're moving on while dragging subconsciously or even consciously the grief. Because the grief doesn't leave us until we acknowledge it. And the grief will never leave us, honestly. But then it can become a companion that strengthens us. And it's hard to see grief this way because it's like, what do you mean it strengthens me? When we look at the past and we look what was buried in the loss, it's not gone. I see it as, and it took me some time to see it this way too, okay? Like fertilizer. We're like, damn, this could have been something. This could have grown into something, but it didn't. And we look at that shit and we're like, it's useless. But is it? We can take that and use it as fertilizer for the seeds to come, because it wasn't useless. There's so much nutrients in that we could use. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away because it's not useless. Everything that you've gone through, all the loss of self, the loss of beliefs, the loss of people in your lives, things, places, jobs, opportunities, those are not losses unless that's where your mind is stuck in seeing it that way. And I know it can be so hard to like wrap our mind around seeing things as not wasted. But there's a power in changing, shifting, even if it's just 1 degree, our perception of things into seeing how they could work for us. Because I get it. I've been in that state for years, not just a little time frame. So I know what I'm talking about when I say this, that I know it can be hard. It can feel like, what's the use? And I'm gonna tell you right now, you being right here, you listening, you going through everything you've been through and still being here despite what you think you should look like, be like, act like, present like, you're here. You are here. That is powerful. That itself is sending a message to the universe, to the past versions of yourself. You being here right now is honoring the past versions of yourself, honoring your ancestors, whoever you believe in, or if it's just simply yourself or simply life. You are worth honoring. You are worthy. All the offerings, I see it as that. All the different things that you went through were offerings, past offerings of your past self. And are you going to look at all the past offerings and be like, that's not enough, that's not worthy, when that's what they could give at that time with what they know, with what they have? And so they offered the lessons, they offered the losses, they offered all these different ways that it didn't work out. They showed you the ways that wasn't for you, the people that wasn't for you, the beliefs that wasn't for you, the habits that wasn't for you, the places, the jobs, the opportunities that you thought was for you but wasn't for you, or it was for you for some time and then another path was for you. Are you gonna tell all your past versions, think about like little you, like, yeah, what you did, that was enough, like you should have been Picasso, why are you just giving me this drawing of me that looks like a stick figure and saying how pretty it is, and it just looks like you know, no, that's rude, that's inconsiderate, that's not seeing it. You know, when you know better, you do better, and you see, and you can see through their perspective, that's what they had to work with, that's where they know, that's where their skills were at, they're still developing, and you're going to what? Shame them, berate them, demean them, guilt them, become the biggest freaking critic to them, and they're in chapter 2 and you want them to already be finished with the book. Well, the book's not going to be finished if you're not going to continue to encourage them and say, hell yeah, thank you for writing this, thank you, I'm going to take this and take all that you've written and given me and the story, and I'm going to continue the story and make it even better with everything that you've given me, with the ideas. Thank you. How about that? With the loss, with everything and all the things that we've learned, can we learn to say thank you? Because most of the time we say fuck you. How about thank you? Thank you for showing me what's not for me. Thank you for showing me who's not for me. Thank you for allowing me to make mistakes, to grow, to evolve, to fall down, to fail, to see all these different parts of myself and not just be this boxed up version that's in a pretty package, but I'm like a fucking robot version of myself. Thank you for allowing me to be, to come out, to explore, to play, to be curious, to wonder. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna take all of this and I'm going to cherish it. Thank you. Thank you, me. Thank you, all the past versions of me. Thank you to the person that hurt me. Thank you, because now I have more clarity on what a reciprocal relationship looks like from what I've learned of what it doesn't feel aligned to me. See how that feels so much better? And you can stay in the, well, yeah, but it still sucks. You can stay there if you want to. You can stay there for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, your whole life to your deathbed. But that's your choice. Are you going to stay there and blame all these different things? Or are you gonna get up and make something of it? Even if it feels like, ugh, this again, yes. What else are you gonna freaking do? It's boring. Boring to stay down. I've been there. And like try to diminish yourself and just be small and just hide yourself, because God forbid I say things that people don't like and they feel uncomfy. So what? How are you feeling? How's little you feeling? How's teenager you feeling? How's all the different versions of you that came to experience this life, just wanting to experience life? And this is part of life, all of it. You know, we can't know what happiness is unless we freaking feel what it's not. We don't know what peace is until we feel what chaos is. And that can just be within ourselves or outside, but we can look at it, experience it, but we don't need to become those. We can just become like a channel of feeling those different things. I know that this message will find those and align with those that truly need it, that needed to hear this, because I know that I needed to hear it for myself for so freaking long. I still do. Honestly, when I am talking, it's also like a reminder to myself, because I get it. It can be hard, but you're worthy. You have done a lot of freaking hard things, okay? And you're still here. And you're worth going through those hard things for. You're worth it. I love you. Know that you are safe in your body, in your spirit. Create that safety within yourself. so that you could be a safe space for those around you as well. And you are more than enough. See you guys next time.